Hello and welcome back to Football Manager once again. We have now made it to the first day of the new season, but we're not playing Blackburn today. We'll play them tomorrow at 3, I think. Yeah, I think this video goes out on Friday. No, this video goes out on Thursday. That video goes out on Friday. So, we're playing Blackburn tomorrow at 3. This video will go up at 5 o'clock for you today, obviously. This is just a little recap of the transfers and a look ahead to the season, see how we're going to do, all that sort of stuff. But before we do that, I want to have a quick look at the friendlies. As you can see, we didn't play badly in any of the friendlies. I mean, we got a 0-0 draw with Ipswich Town, a league above us. We lost 2-0 to second tier, the Belgian division, which is, oh no, that's actually first tier Belgian division. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. So, a good result there, I think. We did lose to Bolton 1-0, but they're a side that are challenging for promotion this season regardless. Leeds we lost 2-1 against, but they're Premier League Leeds, not bad. We beat St Neots 8-0. We only lost in extra time to Wolves. We didn't lose to Exeter or QPR, but we beat Exeter. And we didn't concede against any of the admittedly rather weak sides in Brighouse, Stalybridge and St Neots. We've got a good chance this year, I do think. Looking back at the transfers, though, for this season, we brought in no paid-for players. We brought in Michael Nwankwo from Bolton. Tyrone O'Neill joined on a permanent from Middlesbrough rather than staying on loan deal. His contract did actually run down at the end of last season, so we got him for free. Charlie, we're getting Dion Rankine also joining from Chelsea, with Josh Okocha joining from West Ham. Callum Maycock, I think you'll probably remember from last season's Boston United part of the save, where we signed him for Boston United. He's joined from Solihull on a free transfer. We've also signed George Glendon from Chester, who could probably sell for at least 100k if need be, joining from a free transfer from Chester. Looking to be a very good player, could easily be a backup midfielder for us if need be. Another backup player we signed, Jack Iredale, however you pronounce it with a Scottish accent, is a backup left back, as Terenzi is not here this season. We couldn't bring him back on loan. We did try, but Sevilla wanted £4,500 of his £5,000 wage to be paid, and we couldn't afford that. We just simply couldn't afford it, so he didn't come back. The end of last season, we also brought in Cian Breckin, Josh McNamara, Jude Soonsup-Bell, Ollie Turner, Cameron Lewis-Brown, Sam Collins and Harrison Burrows did join on loan. But yeah, Cian Breckin, an incredible attacking midfielder, admittedly back up to Robertson so far. McNamara, even better than Brzezowski in goal, he's our first choice goalkeeper. Jude Soonsup-Bell, first choice striker, already 3 stars, better than the current Tyrone O'Neill's level. Ollie Turner is actually going to be a backup centre midfielder. Goodness, he's Italian, but when I signed him he was English. I don't know. But he's got championship prospects, so he could be very, very good for us. Cameron Lewis-Brown joining us free transfer from Crystal Palace. We tried to loan him out as soon as he joined us, but no clubs actually wanted him to join. Sam Collins, same story here. We signed him on a free transfer from Nottingham Forest. Tried to get a loan deal for him immediately, but again, no one wanted him. And then finally, Harrison Burrows signing on a on a loan deal, because we needed a new left winger. And looking at his statistics, he looks incredible. And in theory, he could actually sign on a permanent basis for us at the end of the season. Admittedly, we probably have to get promoted before that happens, but he could do it quite simply. Looking at the development centre, we've got one player that I actually think could become a good player for us, and it's Lee Savage. He's the only one that I genuinely think has the ability to become a good football player. I don't mean good as in Premier League level good. I mean good enough that he'll be playing for us. He's got 4-star potential, which is better than the current ability of any of the right backs at the club. So he's got the potential to be better than some players at this club. And he's not really out of the question to become a player for the Johnson's Paint Trophy, whatever it's called now. It's like Papa John's or something like that, isn't it? I mean, I should know if Ipswich Town playing it, but I think is it Papa John's Trophy or is it something else? But it actually hasn't come up yet. We haven't actually drawn the fixtures for it yet. But no, I can't remember what it's called now. Oh, the leasing.com in this. But I think it is Papa John's now in real life. But I remember it as a Johnson's Paint Trophy when I played Football Manager 2011 for the first time. And I played on as Southport, trying to get them from non-league to Premier League. And it worked. We got them there after 20 years, but we managed to win no cups along the way. Not even a Johnson's Paint Trophy. It's very frustrating. But yes, so currently in the test, we've got one player who could play in the Papa John's Trophy, but other than that, nothing really. Financially, the club's very stable for a League Two side. £316,000 in the bank is an improvement on the end of last season, which had only £139,000 in it. As you can see, huge spike here when the club was bought out by the current owners. As you can see here, big spike here. Another big spike here came from obviously playing some of the friendlies as well as season ticket sales. Very important there. And TV revenue, because this season we're going to be expecting to get TV revenue of around about £350,000, which is very, very good. Now, looking at the season ahead, the board want us to avoid a relegation battle, which I think means finishing around lower mid-table. That is fine by my mind. I don't mind doing that. It won't be too difficult, at least in theory. We are approving the youth facilities. That is supposed to be done on the 18th of October, so nothing too difficult about that. They're supposed to be relaying the pitch in April of next year, which admittedly isn't that bad in consistency to the fact that the stadium is in good condition. So it's not that bad, but I'd have preferred to be done this season because injuries will mount up if we don't get that done quick enough. I have made it onto the favoured personnel actually before I go any further, which I think is quite nice. I do think it's quite nice. Also, with this competition's board, we have the FA Cup minimum of second round. That's easy enough. If we play a non-league side, we're through immediately. And if we get to a first round against, I don't know, a League One side, we're going to have some parity. EFL Cup, we'd have to be competitive in that, so I'm assuming just... Oh, not even expect to get past the first round, Jesus. Well, I mean, we are playing Blackburn, so I'll give you that one. And according to this, we have to record a top half finish in 2026-27. We have to work towards it in the next 3 years. I won't be here for probably the majority of these 3 years. I might be here for this season and next season, but I doubt much after that. A quick point for the end of last season. I applied for 4 jobs that were available at the end of last season. One was Bradford City, who were in the playoffs at the end of last season, lost in the playoff final to obviously the eventual winners. Can't remember who it was now. I also applied for a job in League One, which was, I believe, Rochdale got promoted last season. It wasn't them. Who was it I applied to? It was a team that had blue. Might have been Gillingham. Yeah, possibly Gillingham, who were on the verge of relegation but did survive. I also applied to Colchester before they got relegated, but then they got relegated on the final day, and they got a new manager on the final day, so screw them, basically. And I also applied for a job outside of England. I applied for a job in the Scottish Premier Division, which is... are we going to show up as this, or is it actually something else? Because if not, it's going to be very boring. Scottish Premiership. I applied for a job in this. Now, looking at last season, you're going to probably wonder, who do you apply for? I applied for Kilmarnock. Now, Kilmarnock, when I applied for them, were rock bottom of the league. And then as soon as I applied for them, they won 2 games in a row, got off the bottom of the table, signed a new manager to the team, and then Dunfermline got relegated. So, clearly they didn't want me as their manager. I'm not going to take it too much to heart. But, yeah, I was actually given an interview by Bradford, but the Bradford job went to, who is it? Keith Curl, who I believe actually is part of their thing, isn't he? No, he's not. I thought he was, but maybe he played for them in the past, because I recognise the name. Oh no, he's never played for them in the past. Where do I recognise the name from then? Not a clue. I have to be honest with you, not a clue where I recognise this name from, unless possibly might have been an assistant manager of mine in a previous Football Manager save. But either way, that is a look back for this season. The tactics for this start of the season is going to be this, pretty much, because these are probably our best players, and thankfully we can actually have 7 subs this season rather than the 5 we had in non-league. Nwankwo is not playing today because he's not got the match sharpness he needs. Burrows is injured, which is unfortunate, but when he's back to full full fitness, he'll be in for Guevara, probably Guevara dropping to the bench. Glendon and Maycock both look to get a loan out probably for this season, maybe bring them back in at Christmas sort of time, not sure at the moment. Same for Lewis Brown, trying to get him out on loan. He is currently wanted by Yeovil on loan actually, so I would quickly offer him out again for a loan deal. And all I really want is him to be a regular star. Don't have to pay any wages because the majority of clubs won't pay wages to a player, so it doesn't really matter. Alex Henderson, honestly, I think it's probably time for him to be moved on permanently, because he's never actually really going to play any matches for us, except maybe in the Leasing Cup trophy. Same with Francis Vincent. At this point, he's getting too big for his boots and he's not really performing anymore. He's not really performing at all, really. So we've listed him or a sell at any price value. And Justin Johnson's been listed for the loan list because he's too much money to be paid to the player. Because as you can see on the finances screen, we are vastly over our wage budget. And that's after I lowered the transfer budget to actually appease this a bit. We've got actually a sizable scouting budget, mind you, so that is a positive, of course. And actually, I could ask for an increased wage. I'll just quickly do all this now. Increased wage, increased transfer. Once the game loads, I've added a few more leagues in as well. I'll show them off next, I think. Let's also do scouting range as well. Okay, but yes, I've also added in some leagues. Some of them haven't actually started yet, but some have. I've added in the French, German, Portuguese, Italian, American, Dutch, Spanish, Brazilian and Argentinian first tier leagues. Obviously kept the Irish, Scottish, Northern Irish, Welsh and English leagues as they are, because I thought might as well. So the majority of these leagues aren't actually starting until next season. Obviously Brazil and Argentina Brazil starts at least in January, but Argentina starts next season. Same as America starts in January. But Spain did manage to get their league in just in time, and apparently estimate game to be of 5 stars, back down to 1.5 half a star. And hell, I was going to say, it didn't seem likely. And unsurprisingly, this has been very similar to how it is in real life, really, isn't it? Real Madrid, Barcelona and Atletico Madrid are the only 3 teams that appear to be playing in this division since about 2012, when Valencia last recorded a podium. And in fact, the last time a team outside of Madrid or Barcelona won the La Liga title was in 2004, when Valencia did it. Now, my friends, that is very saddening. But it isn't that bad. At least for English viewers, because we don't really care that much about the foreign leagues, except when they provide us cheap players. Like, for instance, when we get free Edison Cavani's into Manchester United. But that's out of the question. So, that's it for this video. Tomorrow at 3, you'll be getting Blackburn in the Carabao Cup, followed by Oldham at 5. So, until then, I bid thee adieu, and goodbye.